No.
Okay, I'm live. Fantastic. Okay, Gabby, you working on that?
I'm working.
Molly, attribution theory.
It's like personality and environment.
Okay, so sometimes I make an error and I blame on other people. I say it's a personality. What's that called?
Fundamental error. Fundamental attribution error.
Okay, but Hudson, sometimes when I'm talking about my own behavior, I say I'm not grumpy. I'm not a mean person. I'm just tired. And I kind of flip the fundamental attribution error on me. Ashlyn? Self-serving bias. So even though they don't look the same, the attribution theory, where is it? And self-serving bias are opposites. If I'm talking about someone else's behavior, I'm going to blame their personality. They are a bad driver. They are stupid. Who gave them a license?
I'm leaving because
This is too real.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
But if you were talking about yourself, Peyton, did you get it? You're going to ask me questions. Okay, just send me a text and I can answer then. Okay, but I'm talking about myself. I never take credit for my personality. If it's a bad thing, I will just say that like I'm tired or I'm hungry or that's why. Okay, can anyone remember just world phenomenon?
That's when you're like, everybody's perfect, good people do good things. No, that's like.
Well, the world is fair and people get what they deserve. So can you close the door? Yeah, so like when you see just, I want you to think of like justice. Like there's justice in the world. The world is just. The world is fair. Good things happen to good people. Bad things happen to bad people. Do you remember the situation that I read to you guys, where it was like the woman was cheating on her husband and was like taking the trolley and then got stabbed, and everyone is here was like, she got stabbed, and I was like, who's at fault for her death? And you said she is. Well, you were blaming the victim because you think the world is fair. That she got murdered because she was an adulterer. Who was the real person that killed her? Not her.
Stabber.
Like person who stabbed her. That is who would be. A lot of people say it's her fault. Like she's. Yeah, they think, well, if she wasn't cheating, she wouldn't have been in that scenario. But it's like if you change the thing, it's like she's not cheating. She's getting to work or
she
something.
went over the bridge so that she could cheat, but then on her way back, she got stabbed. So that
Right.
if she didn't cheat, then she wouldn't have gone over the bridge.
Everyone was, and then some people are like, it's the husband's fault. Because if he had like treated her right, and I'm like, okay, no. Okay, so attitude changes depending on like how I can persuade you. So I'm going to give you a scenario, and I want you to use foot and door in the face to, and then we're going to talk about some examples. This is a real FRQ that I think was done about 2 or 3 years ago, and it was like a political figure is running for office, and they want people in the local neighborhoods to put signs in their front yard supporting them running for political office. How can they use foot in the door? That's problem number one. Or how could that political person use door in the face to get the people in the neighborhood to put signs in their front yard? So I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to think. Sherry, do you have a question or do you have an answer? I want you to think when we talk about it with people, just to make sure that we're on the same page.
I was trying to look on the grade book to see which was I can take, but I can't.
Yeah.
You know.
No. Okay. We'll just do it tomorrow. Yeah.
Thank you.
Was it the last vocabulary quiz?
Oh.
Yeah. Or it could be like, here, I'll keep you. Because like the this like put this one sign in your yard, and but if you don't accept it, which is like everyone has to sign, so two signs in your yard. I guess. I don't know. Actually, the doors like start off small and get bigger.
Okay. Now we're back. Can anyone tell me how that politician could use foot in the door to get their way? Gabby?
They could be like, put this sticker on your car. Now wear this t-shirt every whatever, and then like, and now put this sign on your car. So start with like less important.
Yeah, a sticker is not a big deal. It's something small, a small request. If they say yes to that, they're more likely to wear the shirt, and now they're more likely to put something in their yard. So starting off with something small, and then the more like they say yes, the more they're going to choose larger things. Does anyone have a door in the face example? Molly?
Like, get a tattoo of me. And they're like, no. And then you're like, all right, just put a yard sign up.
And they're like, okay, I can do that. So a big thing that you know they're going to slam the door in your face, and then they're more likely to say something smaller than the tattoo. Yeah, that's a really good example. Okay. Okay, I want you guys to give an example of A person who has cognitive dissonance and then what they are going to do because of it. They have cognitive dissonance. Remember, dissonance means like what?
Like
clashing, some sort of conflict. Okay, conflict in their cognition. Discuss.
Oh, could this be like somebody who doesn't believe in cheating, but then was like tempted to cheat because they want to pass their class? So like their belief is kind of.
So what do? Do they stop cheating?
they change their.
They keep cheating and say, "Oh, it's okay."
Okay.
They justify that. Yeah, they justify
Yes.
their actions.
So cognitive dissonance is when your attitudes and your actions do not line up. You say one thing, you do another. You're a hypocrite. So instead of changing how they feel, just kidding. Instead of changing what they do, like they're still like, I don't cheat. I am ethical. I'm not a thief, whatever. And then they cheat on quizzes or they print out something on Wikipedia and claim it as their own or whatever. So how do they justify it? I'm using resources. What else?
Oh, it's just that one time. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't do it all the time. I don't do it on tests. And everyone is passing around the closing questions or whatever the case may be. I'm no idiot. Okay, so what do? If their attitudes do not match their actions, they don't change. Okay, that makes them not sleep at night. That creates dissonance. That creates conflict because they're a hypocrite. They want these two to change, or they want them to equal, and so they will change their attitudes so they will be equal. They're still going to have the actions. They're still going to, cheat on the test or quiz or whatever the case may be.
So what would when you change your action?
You don't really change your actions.
Unless you're like the greatest person.
Yeah, but then if you're the greatest person in the world, you're probably not a hypocrite.
Right. Yeah.
So then you don't need to change anything because you're good.
It wouldn't be an instance of that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do that action.
There wouldn't be any dissonance. Dissonance is that conflict. Okay, so one of your words today was social facilitation. Does anyone remember what that was?
I do.
Hudson? You perform well. The presence of a group makes you perform well. But this is only true. I want you to jot this down somewhere. Social facilitation is only true if you're already good at that task. If it's a well-learned task. A well-learned task. Then you will do better in front of a group. So I've been teaching for over a decade now. I think that's a well-learned task. I know kind of what I'm doing. But when it comes to if I had to teach to an empty classroom, which the first day of tutoring was basically, I had two people. And then you left. And then there was one person. And it was me, the internet, and one person. I'm not going to, it's not as bubbly. And it doesn't seem like I have great ideas. And I can't play off of you guys. But if it's a poorly learned task, it is something I am brand new at. It is something, it's like your first recital. Social inhibition. You will actually perform poorer. You will perform worse. You're going to the group watching you is too much pressure and you'll do worse. So it's kind of funny when y'all did the game today, I'm walking around and all the people that said, oh, you make me nervous. Oh, I was doing fine. And then you came and you watched me and I'm messing up now. That means you're not studying. It's a not well-learned task. And otherwise, the presence of me watching you would have made you better.
It's like with sports.
That's social inhibition. It's the opposite of social facilitation. If it is if people are if people are watching you work and it's something you're good at, you'll do better. Social facilitation. If people are watching you work and you're not really good at this task, you're going to do worse.
So is it the same thing as social?
It is, I guess, but you're going to see the term social inhibition a whole lot more than you're going to see social. Yeah. So not well learned. You'll do worse.
Would nerves be a factor in that?
Of course, it's going to be a factor in that. But people athletes, professional athletes, they do better in front of a crowd because they turn those nerves into energy.
Yeah, my dad would talk. Whenever I played soccer, I would do better in front of my friends because I'd be look how awesome I'm doing.
Yes. Yeah, you take the excitement. I'm sure that you feel that like on the field.
I am the complete opposite. When I was going for like college
Yeah.
and scouting and stuff, I was so nervous and I did terrible. And I even cut my lip.
But it all worked out because now you're assigned and you're good to go, and all you gotta do is graduate. Okay. All right. Tell me about social loafing, Lily.
Social loafing is when you do worse because
Hey, Victor, I know that y'all are at lunch.
you're in a group and y'all like split up the work.
So it's a group working towards the same goal. How's the effort?
It's less.
It's-
Everyone is
Yes. That's why everyone typically hates group work, because everyone exerts less effort in the group. And remember, social loafing is towards a common goal. It's a group working together. It's not a group that's doing separate things. It's a group working together. They're going to exert less effort, and that's social loafing. So I always think of what does it look like to like loaf? Yes, Jay, good loafing. So that's basically a group project. Y'all get together and then you loaf. Jay, loaf. That is a good loaf right there. Okay, de-individuation. Give me an example of this. There's the definition: reduction of self-awareness and personal responsibility when you feel anonymous in a group.
Like you go to a concert, you start jumping, because you're like, I'm not me, I'm just part of this concert.
Yes, you feel like no one really knows me here. You lose your self-restraint. You might do something that you normally wouldn't do.
Is that like the mob?
It is a mob mentality. It's also like, think of the internet. I would never go up to someone's face and being like,
You're ugly.
that's a nice game that you're playing of like the people that are like, you're ugly. It's usually something to do with someone's mother or something. And then it's like, you would never say that to a person in like their face, but you say things all the time like, whatever. You're ugly. Your mother is ugly. Yes. Bystander effect. Who's Kitty?
That's the
Oh, that's the one that was like murdered.
Yeah.
Yes, murdered, raped in the alleyway.
And everyone was like, no, somebody else was watching.
Yes. What is the bystander effect? Does anyone know another word for it? It's actually 3 words. Something, something, something. Something of something. Oh, it's not law of effect.
Maybe is it someone with responsibility?
It is something with
Loss
a
of responsibility.
so close. I want
Lack
you
of
to think.
responsibility.
The scent. It's like
Smell of responsibility.
with the reeds. What?
Diffusion.
Diffusion. Diffusion of responsibility. Yeah, diffuser. Okay, diffusion of responsibility. Everyone's all like, "You're gonna call the cops, right?" Or in like whatever. So, oh gosh, I'm thinking of like in The Office when they're doing like the CPR training. The very first thing that you have to do in like CPR training is be like, "You call 911." You can't just assume someone else is going to do it because of the bystander effect. They're less likely to help, and everyone feels like it's not their responsibility. Okay. Group polarization. Does anyone remember the example that I gave in class about group polarization?
Like church camps and the KKK.
Yes. What do church camps and the KKK have in common? Yes. When you no, they have something in common. All groups with a common core belief have something in common, and it's their belief. And when they get around each other, their belief gets stronger. Think about how hyped people are after church camp. They're all like, I'm going to go to like Bible class like every day. Yeah, go Jesus. And then like a week back, they're all like, well. And same thing about any type of belief, whatever that belief is, it gets stronger when you're around people of that belief. Whether it's like a pep rally or a KKK meeting. They're so similar. Okay. Groupthink. Groupthink. Do you remember groupthink?
Everyone like thinks as like one almost. Like you think your combined thoughts like.
Is groupthink good or bad?
Bad.
It's bad. Why?
Oh, this is the one with like the wrong.
The challenger?
Yeah, it's like everybody's thinking the thing, but then like nobody says it, so they just.
Because they think I'm the only one that thinks
Yeah.
this. And I don't want to be like, I think this is a bad idea because you think you're the only one that thinks that, and everyone looks so harmonious that you don't want to screw that up. It's like, it's how you end up at Chili's.
I love
Okay, no one says that ever. Then you must
Have you ever
love.
had their queso? It's off the charts. It's so good.
I'll go to a Mexican restaurant if I want queso. I'm not gonna go to. Oh, from the microwave. Cool. Okay.
This is
No, it is like, okay, someone's all like, hey, what do you want it to have to eat? I don't know. What do you want to have to eat? And then someone's all like, I guess we go to Chili's. And then no one's all, it's like, okay. And then in everyone's head's like, I don't want to go to Chili's, but I mean, we finally just agreed on something, so I don't want to say anything. And then everyone gets at Chili's, and I'm like, this place sucks. Except for Molly, who apparently has never eaten good food ever.
She's like, "Oh, Chili's."
It's like harmony of a group almost.
Yes, it is like, but the group isn't harmonious. But like on the outside, it looks harmonious. Everyone thinks that they are, yay, we're at Chili's, but no one wants to be there. Yay, we're at Chili's.
chocolate molten queso. I mean, it's all there. Like it's all great chicken tenders. It's all there. You can get their pizza stuff. I'm just saying, when I was a 5-year-old, I was disappointed.
Oh yeah, but
I always wait like 30 minutes for their pizzas, and I can be the only.
No, that's how they make you think you like it. Because if you wait long enough, you're starving. They can literally give you like dog food, and you'll be like, "Thank God it's here." And then you eat it, you're all like, "It's Chili's." Okay. Solomon Ash. Yes, it's conformity with the line experiment, but what type of conformity? Normative social influence. Did they have wrong information? No. So they knew what they were saying was wrong. But how would you describe normative social influence? Where is it? How would you describe normative social influence to the AP test readers? Why do you conform?
You're doing it because you want other people to look at you.
Yes, you want other people to approve of you. So once again, I think it was the same FRQ about like the political sign in the front yard. They said they just moved into this neighborhood, and give me some examples of something that they could do, these neighbors that they just moved in, with normal social influence. And you had to make up something. Like you just, as long as it fit. And a lot of people said, yes, everyone on the street has blue curtains, so they got blue curtains, so they wouldn't stick out. And they said a lot of people said everyone had like the little pink flamingo yard thing, and they got the pink flamingo yard thing, so they wouldn't stick out.
Have you ever been to Arizona?
Oh, where no one has grass?
There was one house that had grass, and it was really weird. 'Cause it was
They
like rock
They have
grass.
to like use
It's
all of the
fake.
water.
Fake.
Oh, it's fake grass. That's how you do it.
It's probably
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what you do it.
Like, yeah, no one wants to want to do like cartwheels on the rocks.
Well,
No.
it's like rocks and cacti, and it's just like, why would you want that in your yard?
Like the little 2-year-old is like walking in the front yard. Danger. Okay, so what are some things that going to promote conformity? Like more people will conform if.
The group size of the group.
Yes, I'm not going to conform to 1 or 2 people, but it's like 8 people doing something, probably going to conform. The size. How do you say this?
Unanimity.
Yes. Which means what?
It's the same.
Everyone. You know how
The
you
same.
retweeted that psychology page on Twitter? Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, I've been like looking at them and seeing the questions, and I thought I was getting all of them right, but I don't think I am. You know how it checks whichever you pick? I was like, oh, that means it's right.
There has to be a psychology term for that. I'm so glad that you're not taking the test because of that comment. But you are taking the eco test.
Yes.
Fantastic.
When are we starting?
May 6th. Yeah. What? The week after y'all have what, Tuesday, Thursday? Yeah. They get a week of after school, but they also have in class, and they also have 2 blocks, A and B. I'm not eating for 2 weeks. Okay. I will also have another day of social psychology tutoring. We'll kind of pick up where this one left off sometime next week. I'll give you guys more information in class about that later. Have a great afternoon. Click and subscribe. Smash that like button.